How do you get your employees to follow you? Before you start wondering why employees are not following you, listen to this. I've worked with hundreds of leadership teams, and most employee alignment problems are not really leadership problems. This is one of the most common patterns that I see in companies that are trying to scale, and it has nothing to do with employee motivation. By the end of this video, you'll understand why employees stop following leadership and what to do about it without micromanaging. Employees follow clarity more consistently than personality. I've seen that statement in companies over and over. When you have clear, documented procedures and it's very clear what you would like your employees to do, they will follow you. You can be an amazing leader with great personality, but that would only take you so far. If you really want your employees to follow you, you want to make sure that they are behind you, and you want to make sure that there is alignment. What you want them to do and accomplish has to be very clearly defined and very clearly published. It's not enough just to define it. You also have to publish it and make sure that everyone knows what you're expecting from them and how to get it done so you will all get the same results. Now, we're not talking here about micromanaging and telling everyone everything that they need to do without having their own personality in the mix, because they're not going to follow that either. We're talking here about having a framework and a system that is very clearly defined and communicated, so then people will know what is expected from them. So I'll give you an example. So let's take business development. Business development definitely relies on somebody's personality and making sure that the person who's doing the business development knows what they're doing and they're creating relationships, and they have to have the freedom to create 100%. However, you can get into a situation, and I've seen it happen, where you hire a business development person, you tell them to do a certain thing, you go, okay, this is my strategy, this is what I want to accomplish, and they might acknowledge you, they might say yes, they might not say anything, but then they go and do something else. So then you have the feeling, oh, they're not following what I told them to do. Problem here is that you probably did not give them a procedure or a process in writing of what does it mean to be a business development director in your company. What are your expectations of them? What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to have that many meetings, that many phone calls, that many connections. What are they supposed to do with those connections? And most importantly, how are they expected to communicate to you what they are doing? If you have that well defined, then you will see that they are actually following you, or maybe not. And then you can do something about it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, because I have a whole video that explains why employees are not following instructions and what to do about that. So if they're not following you, that might be the case, and then you need to do something about it. But it might be that they just did not know what the expectations are, or that was lack of clarity of how to execute those expectations. So before you go into figuring out what's wrong with them or why they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, first of all, make sure that your processes are well documented and shared with that person, that you expect them to follow you and follow those instructions or those procedures. And then if that doesn't happen, then you can find out the root cause of that and handle that particular situation. I'm sure you will agree that when there are unclear expectations, the result is always confusion. And when people are confused, they're going to find their own ways to get out of that confusion and do whatever they need to be doing in order to be successful. And sometimes, or maybe most of the times, that's going to be something different than what you're expecting them to do, so it will look like they're not following you. So in order to make sure that your employees are following you, are following your directions, are following your instructions, make sure that everything is very clearly defined and clearly communicated, and also there is follow through on your part. So if you are communicating your expectations, if you are communicating instructions, make sure that you stick to it, that there is also an internal alignment from you and your communication to your employees. Because if you start changing what you are expecting them to do, that will also create confusion and misalignment, and it will look like they are not following you, your strategy, your expectations. Remember, in order for you to create that alignment, you gotta have well-documented processes and procedures. So in my next video, I'm gonna show you how to create well-documented processes and procedures that are very easily followed by everyone. See you in the next video.